Inject Party leader Morara Kebaso is asking the young people, the Gen Zs, to reject former Interior CS Fred Matiang'i following his move to join opposition team led by former DP Rigathi Gachagua, Wipers Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, and People's Liberations Party Martha Karua. In case you don't know, earlier today, Fred Matiang'i and the opposition team, we're talking about Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua, I've seen Muturi, Mithika Linturi, and the rest had a meeting, and it's a meeting that he said it is to deliberate the way forward for the opposition team. So following this meeting, Morara Kebaso is asking the young people, the Gen Zs, to reject these people, to reject these old political pattern, to reject all these political class who have been in our political scene, and they have not done much as far as moving Kenya forward is concerned. So this is Morara Kebaso's long post on X platform. He has made a series of tweets to attack this opposition team. So I'm going to read the first one, and he is saying this. Is this what Gen Zs died for? Is this the future we wanted? So, we are removing Ruto to replace him with a former corrupt tribal deputy president, a former corrupt CS who presided over the killing of Kenyans, throwing them in rivers, a former corrupt CS who has held 4 cabinet positions and never changed anything, and a former corrupt fake fertilizer CS who was charged with rape in a court of law. This is unity without vision, unity without a purpose. I urge all the young people of Kenya to reject this coalition of tumbocrats and projects funded by the guy who stole 6 trillion from this nation. Let all young leaders come together and chart a new path for Kenya. I am ready to sit down with progressive leaders who lack the experience of theft. We will not recycle the problem to solve the problem. So this is a message of Morara Kebaso to young people of this country, is asking the Gen Zs to reject these people, to reject Fred Matiang'i, to reject Kalonzo Musyoka, to reject Rigathi Gachagua, and all these other leaders who are forming a coalition, an opposition coalition. I don't know, what do you think about this? So I'm seeing Kenyans are reacting to this Morara Kebaso's post. Others are reminding him that it is only the other day you had a meeting with Rigathi Gachagua, you had a meeting with Martha Karua, and your intention was to join them. We don't know what happened, that you decided to quit, but we believe that you are ready to working with them. So we have Edgar who is telling Morara Kebaso this, that it is either you suffer from main character syndrome or you work for William Ruto. Were you not the same person who made the whole political outfit? Edgar is asking Morara Kebaso. And we have MVI says, I already say that everyone in that photo is a clown and they are only acting saint because they are not in government. Given a chance, they will still work with the government. Morara, you continue doing what you do, but your aspiration to become a politician will only corrupt you. Let us give Omtata this thing. He is incorruptible. This is the MVI message to Morara Kebaso. And then we have the real one says, funguka, walikosa kukupea chance kwa hiyo matrix. And then we have Karl Maury says, Morara, Gen Z didn't emerge from nowhere. They have roots and a lineage they cannot wish away. It is impossible to create a divide between Gen Z and their roots, as they rely on each other much like national and county government. Independent yet interdependent. We also cannot ignore the reality of tribes. A president inevitably comes from a community they didn't choose but were born into. Political support often begins at home. It is one's village and community which forms a tribe. It is crucial to understand both the positive and negative aspects of tribal identity as our voting patterns reflect this dynamic. It is a long post by a lady by the name I believe is a lady, Kalmauri. So I'm not going to read all of them, but in summary, is telling Morara Kebaso that even the Gen Zs, they're not just emerging from nowhere. These are people who come from a certain tribe, from a certain community. So you cannot wash this away. Alafu Richi is telling him that wewe umejam juu walikuchuja kwa mboge. And then let me read the last two. You ran very fast walipokosa kukupea slot. Ukasema utaita watu jobless protest yenye haikutokea anybody. You are just a bitter ex. And then Franklin Musyoki says, we know you switched. Stay where you are. So this long post by Morara Kebaso has attracted mixed reactions from Kenyans, and from this I can say that we have Kenyans who are ready to work with this opposition team, who are ready to support this opposition team, who are ready to ensure that this opposition team is defeating Ruto in 2027 elections. I don't know about you. Do you have the same? Do you echo what Morara Kebaso is saying, or you have a different opinion? Do you think that it is possible for Gen Zs, as young people of this country, to just be independent and go for elections and face Ruto in 2027 elections? Or do you think that the Gen Z should at least have a backup from these what we call regional kingpins? Because here we have Kalonzo Musyoka, we have Rigathi Gachagua, and all these people. And remember, as much as we want the young people to take over from this country, there is one thing I think we are forgetting, that our politics is still tribal. This is one thing that, as much as we might want to assume this, as much as we might want to ignore this factor, but the reality is, the truth is, the fact is, our politics is tribal. Uko mashinani hata hii mambo yenye mnasema sijui what, it might not like, is not like a wave. No. You see what happened in 2022? People, as we talk about Rigiji, we talk about numbers. We cannot assume that the mountain is rallying behind Rigathi Gachagua. And in politics, that is numbers. We cannot assume that Kalonzo Musyoka has no people. The Kambas are still backing Kalonzo Musyoka. And in politics, that is numbers. In politics, the only thing that matters is numbers. The rest are just nothing. The rest is just, I don't know. But in politics, what matters is numbers, especially in a contest that involves a sitting president. What is needed is number, and you're talking about a big number. You must win by margin, because you are going to face somebody who has everything at his disposal. He has security, he has everything. He has money, he has everything. So this is not somebody that you can face just like that. You need numbers. You need a big numbers. You need to win elections by a big margin. Just the other day, Kinasudi were telling us how they are planning to steal elections, to steal votes and all that. It's not that they are saying for the sake of saying. It is a plan. It is a plan that is being put in order. You are talking about the IBC and the IBC chairman. We are already talking about the Simon Nyachai or Ann Amadi taking this position. These are not just any other person. These are people. These are Ruto's allies. So it is not just something that we can say that we must assume this regional kingpin. No, it is not. In my own opinion, I think the Gen Zs, as much as they want this opposition, we have a lot that these politics of ours can offer. We have oppositions, we have governors, we have senators, we have MPs, we have all these positions. These are positions that the Gen Z should fight for. And also the presidential president position is also something that they can fight for. But they cannot assume that it is going to happen just like that. It is not. Our politics is still tribal. Kura ziko mashinani, and we cannot assume those people are saying that they understand everything that the young people understand. No. So a lot needs to be done, and I think that if you ask me, unity is needed. Unity between the old and the young people. It is needed to defeat Ruto. Other than that, it is just stories, and that is the reality, and that is a fact. You cannot challenge truth, you cannot challenge fact. So as much as Morara Kebaso is urging the young people to want these seats, I support that fully. But I also support that these people should come together. The old and the young people should come together. They should form a unity and ensure that their unity bring numbers, and their numbers bring make them winners, make them champions. That is all that is needed, numbers. Because if you say that you don't want support Rigathi Gachagua with all the people, and you see how the people from Central have accepted him, so you cannot assume that Rigathi Gachagua is just Rigathi Gachagua. No, he has people behind him. Kalonzo has people behind who supports him. We're talking about Martha Karua also as people who supports him. So you cannot assume that everything just happened just like that. No, I like the fact that the people are telling Morara Kebaso the truth, that these are people who have numbers, who have people who support them, who have millions of people who support and rally behind them. So you cannot assume them. So me, I think that unity is needed to defeat Ruto. All is needed in unity between the old and the young people of this country. So I don't know how things are going to move forward, but I believe that to defeat Ruto, numbers is needed, and that numbers will come from unity. Other than that, Ruto will win this thing. So that is it for me for now. Thanks for watching. This is Sophia Live.